Welcome back, fellas. Let's put this in the ether right now. The reason why I made this video is because I saw a clip from the Whatever podcast about a girl admitting that. I'm sure you've seen this too, right? If you watch the Whatever podcast, a girl admitted that she had six dude a night for consecutive weeks, right? Do the math. Six dude a night for 7 days, right? This is why guys avoid women with high body counts. Think of the probability of how many DNA been swapping during this week, right? How many DNA been in exchange? How many busts in her? How many guys actually are intermingling their DNA with one woman? Think of all the transmitted diseases that could be exchanged within a week, right? This woman have a high body count. Look at the high body count. Six dude a night for consecutive weeks. This is why it's optimal for a guy not to be affiliated, associated, be bothered, try to mess around with a woman who have a high body counts, right? Look at all the risks she is taking, right? Not only that, she's taking a lot of risk of might getting impregnated. What if something happens, right? Not impregnated. Okay, if she take birth control, okay, that's fine, right? But what if she contracts something besides pregnancy? What if she contracted HIV? What if she contracted syphilis, gonorrhea, crab, right? Herpes, all that stuff, right? And imagine if you were a guy and you are participating in this kind of activity. This is why I'm telling guys to control, put your small head back in your pants and use a big head. This is not wise to fornicate with women that have high body counts. This is not wise to fornicate with a woman that's very promiscuous. Think of the possibility of what you might catch this, right? One morning you wake up, next thing you know, you start feeling a burning sensation as you pee, as you urinate. Right? And then you reflect back, where did I catch this from? The last person I was intermingled with was this one girl, right? And then you talk back to her. Then next thing you know, you get the call from her. Yeah, I just want to tell you, that I have this, that, and that, and you might want to get checked out by a doctor. And then it all makes sense. So like, why does this girl have this diseases? It turns out it's because she's sleeping around so much with so many men, right? And next thing you know, you got to take all these tests, right, to see if you contracted any other disease besides syphilis, right? Next thing you know, you have full-blown HIV, full-blown AIDS, because your inability to not control your urges and your inability to not vet this woman correctly. This is what happens. You get yourself into this kind of trouble. This is what simps do. Right? Do you want to be a statistic of guys who infiltrated, who participate in filth like this? Right? This is the problem. This is the dilemma that guys have to take. And guys have to ask themselves, do you want to participate in promiscuous sex like this? Right? You could contract something. Right? And, I tell you something. Back when I was in high school, right? And I told a couple of my friends, right? I told them if I ever get married, I will make her take a blood test or a disease test before I fornicate with her, right? Or one of my girlfriends, and they all laughed it, right? They all laughed it like, why you go that late, bro? Back when I was in high school. I graduated a long time ago, right? I'm not gonna tell you when I graduated, but it's a long time ago, right? When I was in high school, I have enough foresight to know what type of woman I'm dealing with in the future, right? This was before hookup culture happens, right? It's in the 2000s, early 2000s, right? And I told them, and they just laughed it. I was like, all right, man, you wait until you catch some venereal diseases. Some VD, right? Then you see who's laughing now. And fast forward to today. I wasn't wrong. I was right about it. I was right that women are more than ever. Prior to the 2000s, the late 90s, right? And then all they do was laugh. Now who's laughing now? Right? Guys, this is a type of situation you'll get yourself into if you are not be careful what you stick your things into. Right? Guys today, a lot of simps out there will stick their wee-wees in a hole in the wall. That's how dirty they are. There's a lot of nasty guys out there. If you are that nasty, right? And you don't care, man, I guess you just don't care. Some guys just don't care. Some simps just don't care. That's why you gotta be more wise, conscious of who you interact with, man. More be careful, because you can't just trust their word. They could lie to you that they don't have a high body count, but how do you know for sure? How do you know for sure? I guess the best thing is abstinence, right? The best thing is abstinence. Think with your big head, man. If you want to fornicate, by all means, don't let me control you, right? But think of the consequences. For a guy, we have to have the right foresight to think about of our action and the consequences when we participate in this debaucherous acts, right? What if you get caught in this kind of situations? This is why I don't advocate men to participate in a train, in a game, none of that stuff, man. Because you're intermingling DNA with other dudes. You don't know what you have. Right? Not all guys are clean. There's a lot of nasty guys out there. Who to say one guy is clean and they're sticking their wee into one specific hole, exchanging DNA, exchanging diseases, one guy sticking after another, and then swapping diseases. That's not clean, man. That's not kosher. That's not good, man. That's not okay. Right? This is why most guys in the right mind prefer a virgin woman, because they're pure. Right? They're kosher. They're clean. Alright? This is why a lot of guys, traditional men, prefer a virgin, because they're clean, and they try to demonize guys, especially in these feminist movements, try to say, oh, you gotta accept her for who she is, accept high body counts. No! When it comes to my health, I do not want a woman that have a high body count. Alright? Because these are the type of situation you put yourself into. These are the type of risks, right? The woman who admitted of doing this, obviously she don't have the cognitive capability to understand the risk. What type of risk she is putting herself into, right? A woman who have high body counts demonstrate that she have no ability of how risk works, risk management, right? And that's what it is. You're taking a very high risk activity here. From getting pregnant, have unwanted birth, have transferred diseases among not just yourself, but a whole population of men. You put the whole society in danger. A woman with high body counts put a whole society in danger. A woman that have high body counts and is really reckless and don't know and not aware of her situation, aware of her health, could destroy whole populations. Right? It's one thing they're afraid of the C19, right? People are afraid of C19, but yet again they're not afraid of high body counts. I don't understand that. How does that work? You're afraid of C19, but again you're participating in promiscuous sex. You're scared of the C19, but yet again you're not wearing a rubber. You're scared of the C19, you're wearing a mask. You don't want to contract the C19, but yet again you're not wearing a rubber. Right? You're scared of the C19, you're wearing a mask, but yet again, you're participating in a train. How's that work? Right? How's that work? That would make no sense. Explain that to me. Make that make sense. Right? And by me hearing that story from that girl, right, it makes me irk. It makes me, oh my God. It cringed. It cringed me. Right? It's like, bro, what are you getting yourself into, man? And she's not even that attractive. She's just a white woman, a redheaded, or whatever it is. I guess something about redhead that get guys going. But I don't know, man. It's like, oh my God. You put your life in that risk. All these men... all these high body counts. And then I do get it, but... what I don't get is, like, do people have common sense anymore? Right? This is what I'm asking. What happened to common sense? What happened to take proper precautions? This kind of reckless activity is what get people in danger. What makes people sick, right? One foolish activity ruin your life. Would ruin your life. What if she have HIV? Right? What if she have all that kind of stuff? Who knows what she have? This is why fornicating with a woman with a high body count is a risky activity. It's very risky. You put yourself into a vulnerable position here, a compromising positions. No pun intended. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just find this whole thing just gross, and some guys dig it, some guys don't mind, and I question their rationality. Like, bro, I mean, I don't mean to be a prude, whatever. Um, to each their own. If you're into this time, fine, by all means, right? To each their own. But for some reason, I find it very atrocious to be thinking about stuff like this, because I would not put myself in this kind of position where I put my health in jeopardy just for a few moment of gratifications, right? Think with your head, not with think with your big head, not the small head, man. Control your urges. That's why I tell a lot of guys to control your urges, man. So if you say yes doesn't mean you should do it, right? But you do what you want to do, man. If you want to fornicate with her, by all means, but think about the risk, guys. Guys, do better. Be better. Make wiser decisions when you choose a mate. Alright? I know it's impossible right now because you don't know when women are lying, but take your time. Like I said in my previous video, patience is the best friend. But on that note, guys, do you approve of this? Would you participate in this kind of actions? Right? Let me know what you agree. Leave a comment below. If you like my commentary and you want to support me, I drop videos daily. Like, share, subscribe, and on that note, guys, thank you for listening. As always, peace and blessings.